What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Manji TV. On today's episode, we have an F30 340i in the shop for a high flow race pipe from CTS. We've got it here in the box. We're gonna be opening the box up and showing you that here in a second. But first things first, we've got it on the lift. We're gonna get it in air and we're gonna get the O2 sensors disconnected and we're gonna get this downpipe or factory catalytic converter out of the car. Let's go. All right, guys, so kind of jumped ahead real quick and disconnected these two O2 sensor connectors, which literally just clip right on to these little spots right here. So go ahead and disconnect those. And then there are some tabs along the heat shield here, which hold it in. I've gone ahead and just pulled all that out because most of what we're gonna be doing is from the bottom. To access this, you will have to take off your engine cover, which I've put right there. Nonetheless, let's get this thing up in the air and get that downpipe out. All right, guys, get a quick look at this before we tear anything apart. You got a 13 mil nut here for your support bracket. We're gonna be taking that off to allow this to come down further. You've got a clamp here with a 13 mil on it as well. There are two copper 13 mils right here. So you guys can see that. I don't know if the light's too blinding, but basically right there, holding the downpipe to a support bracket. And then you have the final 13 mil up there for your V-band clamp. Once we take these two out, and that will kind of be able to shift this over and leave it in place. Sometimes it's easier to just pull the whole exhaust system, but to be honest, we try to leave them in the car just for ease of getting the job done quicker. So we're gonna go ahead and first we're gonna start with those 13s up there, and that one, and these guys, and then we'll show you that once we get it out. All right, guys, I've found the best way to get those copper nuts off is by using a nice little 13 wobble and an electric gun. Just fits up in there perfectly and allows you to get the two nuts off. As you can see, they're gone now. I've also loosened the clamp here and removed the nut here. And last thing is to get this V-band clamp, which is also good with a wobble. I have these extension wobbles with a 3-inch extension on top of that. You can reach right through the side of the frame rail here between the chassis of the car, and it'll just perfectly, so you guys can see that, it'll just perfectly make it to the V-band clamp. And then you can sit here and run it loose, and that will basically get the downpipe out. All right, guys, here's a quick look with the downpipe out. It is a little tight coming through this section here if your O2 sensors and everything are still in and the exhaust is still in. I did end up having to release the mount at the back of the car here, two 13 mil nuts per side, and just slid the whole exhaust system back. Being that this is an M Performance exhaust system, it seems slightly different than the factory. The factory one, I always feel like I can get without doing that, but nonetheless, not very much extra work. Here on the ground, we have our CTS full high flow Catless and the OEM one. We have already removed our O2 sensors. The front O2 sensor is the short one. The longer wire is the back one. You do need to swap over your gasket here or purchase a new one or the other. As long as it's been only like one time, it's fine to reuse. But yeah, basically we're gonna go ahead and throw that gasket on there, throw it back up in there. We've got our V-band clamp here and the hardware for that. And we'll get these O2 sensors installed right now and get them tightened down by hand. And then, yeah, very straightforward. You can see the branding here for CTS Turbo. Got a nice flex joint like the factory. We have the no O2 sensors in it. Still need to swap over the gasket, but very nice product overall. Honestly, better than most of the ones on the market. Huge 4.5-inch size. So should flow plenty well. All right, guys, everything is in and basically tight. I'm gonna check everything by hand. You can see the pinch bolt for the V-band is here and it's oriented basically horizontal to the ground. You want to make sure that is pointing towards this section here so you can get it through the frame rail there. And the copper bolts are on and tight. We'll make sure to torque those to 12 Newton meters. And then we'll go ahead and install our exhaust system back on. Let's go ahead and get that done. All right, guys, we got our M Performance muffler back bolted in and torqued to 13 foot-pounds on each side. We've got our electrical connectors plugged in. Everything clearance-wise is looking good. I did have to readjust the mid-pipe slightly here. I loosened it up, pushed it up, and torqued it back down. For whatever reason, it had kind of sagged. So yeah, everything's looking beautiful. Everything is as it should be. The last thing to do is going to be to plug in these O2 sensors, which we'll go ahead and get from the top, but everything's in. I did drop the nut for the pinch bolt, so I had to take the underbelly pan off for that. It does make it easier if you want to pull that. Definitely could be done to make the job easier, but yeah, nonetheless, stock Cat in the box where it belongs, off the car. Now this thing can truly breathe and ready to tune it and make some more power. So let's get it down, let's go for a test drive and see how she sounds, see how she feels. All right guys, here's a final look at the O2 sensors clipped into the valve cover here and plugged in. There's a little lock, so make sure to lock them. There's also, you can see here, a little clip holding the line there. One here for the rear one, and one more, kind of hard to see, but right about there. So make sure this line is routed on top of the heat shield here. As you can see, there's one more here. Make sure that is totally in and clipped in. It keeps the line from sitting on the downpipe. As you can see, the downpipe looks all nice and installed. Now we're ready to give it the first start, but before we do that, we're also gonna go ahead and put our BMW engine cover on. And as you can see, this car was equipped with the M Performance power kit, which really is not much, just that exhaust system, and I believe there's like high flow air filter or something else. That's about it, guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing on the road, see how she feels. All right guys, so just started it. Everything's as it should be, sounds good, no exhaust leaks. Let's back this bad boy out and see how she feels.
My neighbor's about to hate me, man.
Yeah, that's all right. Sounds really good actually with this M Performance exhaust. It's got like really nice deep tone, very like almost hollow sounding. I don't know if you guys can pick up on that, but it sounds good. Put it in manual mode, Sport Plus. Give her a second to just warm up a little bit. Sounds good, guys. Really surprising actually how good this thing sounds. That M Performance exhaust is sweet. Let's get a little launch going and see how she does. All right guys, we're gonna brake boost it here, first gear. Actually, let me make sure I got full traction off because I don't want anything kicking in on us. All right, there it is, DSC off. We got some walls right here. Woo-hoo-hoo! She's loud. Very nice. Well, if you guys like this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. We'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Comment down below what you want to see next, and yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it.